Our next speaker is someone else who was also involved in the successful campaign to stop Varndean becoming an academy, because she's a student there. And this is Sian Carey, sitting on my right, who tweets as @9Sian7, according to my notes here. So, Sian, over to you.
My name's Sian and I'm a Year 11 student. This isn't the first time I've spoken at a public meeting. A couple of years ago we brought a successful campaign against Varndean School becoming an academy, and I spoke at that one. That was a fight against something this Tory-led coalition government wanted to do, but it was also a fight against something that had been started by the previous Labour government. By creating academies, the previous Labour government helped to build the bridges which the Tories had marched over to undermine local education authorities. In government, Labour did not defend our education system, and that is why there is a question, which we are here to discuss, about how Labour can win the support of teachers. I am here to look at that question from the perspective of a student. Sometimes, when reactionary education policies are advanced, whether by the Tories or by progress supporters within the Labour Party, and when these policies attack the interests of teachers, the politicians who advocate these policies try to justify them by saying that they are in the interest of students. For example, when Tristram Hunt proposed new requirements for teachers to be registered or supported performance-related pay, he tried to say that this was something which students would support. He didn't ask any students, of course. Certainly not students in state schools, as we know why it would be bad both for teachers and us. The problems which we face in schools cannot be solved by attacking teachers. In fact, one of the things we most need as students in schools is for there to be less change and less political intervention. This government's changes to exams have interfered many times with my education and that of my friends. For example, they changed the rules about which exam results could be taken by the schools for their league tables last autumn, and that meant that our school changed its plans about when we were taking some of our GCSEs just weeks before we were due to sit the exams. Speaking as a student, I know that one of the things which students in schools would want from an incoming Labour government is that they should not interfere unnecessarily and without fault for students in our education, our exams and our curriculum. It seems to me that this is also something which teachers might want from the Labour government and from the Labour Party. I guess that there are a lot of teachers in this audience and that you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think it's clear that there are some things which Labour needs to do and not do if we want our party to gain the support of teachers. We don't need any more stupid experiments like academy schools. We don't need performance-related pay for individual teachers. We don't need constant changes in basically everything, causing stress for teachers and students. I think it is also clear that there are some things which we do need to see from Labour if we are to win the support of both teachers and students. We need adequate resources for comprehensive secondary education. We need investment in our schools, including in the pay and conditions of teachers. We need a government which will address the reasonable demands of the National Union of Teachers. Teachers deserve fair pay, protection for their pensions and manageable workloads. Speaking as a student, I can see that these things are in my interests and the interests of my friends as much as they are in the interests of teachers. So going back to the question which this meeting asks, what should Labour do to engage effectively with teachers? Well, since most of you at this meeting are teachers, I think you should know better than I do. But from the point of view of a student in Year 11, I would say that it's quite obvious that what we need is a Labour Party which listens to teachers and their trade unions. If Labour is to win the next general election, that will only happen if many teachers vote Labour, and teachers should certainly vote Labour rather than for the coalition parties or even worse, UKIP. Just as Labour needs to listen to teachers, so teachers need to join and engage with Labour in order to influence a future Labour government.